Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you are.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Brittany, and I'm back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. And y'all, this episode was kind of filler, but I liked it just a little bit. So yeah, let's get into it. No shade, but I knew this episode was going to be filler when the first, what felt like 50 minutes was us seeing them get ready and leaving. I was just like, the slow motions of them getting ready and leaving, y'all can keep it. But after that, we learned that Choco Brown is leaving.
I'm sad. I won't be continuing with the rest of the girls. I cannot travel to the next country with the baddies because I have a situation with my passport. So this is the end of the road for me. And
I enjoy seeing Choco Brown. I thought that she was pretty. I feel like she said, she stood on business. I was crying when she was talking about she's happy that before she left, she put Swiper in the bush, aka DTB. We saw a different side of her when her and Elsie were forming like a friendship. So it's like she wasn't all about just fighting. So we get to London, and it's like, no lie, London looks beautiful. That's one of the places on my destination list, you know? So we get to London, and Elsie's talking about how she misses her friend, and Dolly low-key gets mad. She talking about, oh, that's not your friend. Y'all use that term too loosely. But it's just like, girl, weren't you and Summer calling each other friends like 3-4 days into y'all's season of Midwest? Like, come on now. And then on the other bus, they were just talking about how they were condemning Rolly for making up with Tommy. Yeah, now let's get to the tea for real. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was low-key kind of invested in this story, because I was just like, okay, now who's lying then? And I never in life would low-key agree with Dolly, but I low-key was just like, no lie, she clocked it just a little bit. She ate this little thing. So apparently something had happened where Elsie had told Dolly that Russian had said that Dolly had said that when they were in the club, Natalie was talking about who is or who's not going to get booked, and Dolly looked at Elsie and Russian and said,
why you lie on me? Who? You. Run it.
Okay. I said that when we were in the Sprinter, you told me that she stopped our bag for Natalie's tour.
That ain't how I said it. This is how I said it.
That's what I said.
We were in the club. Natalie was talking about taking us on tour. She was like, I'm gonna pay them $10,000 each. And I said, Dolly did this. You pointed at me, you pointed at Elsie, you said, and then that's when I left the club. That's what happened, and that's what I said.
You said more than that.
And no lie, do I put it past the fact that Dolly did that? No. But no lie, I agree with what Dolly said and what Elsie said. Russian, you weren't going to come back for another season. And what Elsie said, you didn't do anything but deride the big three, honestly. And yeah, Russian, you are boring. You were picking and choosing the whole time. It's like, yeah, you fought K Rican in the beginning, but after that, it was like, oh, my hand hurt. But you're fighting Elsie with a broken hand. And then when you and Elsie fought, I'm not gonna say Elsie won, but Elsie low-key ate that. She low-key ate that.
Oh my God. Oh.
But I low-key felt like Russian just hit Elsie out of embarrassment and to low-key kind of save her own ass. Because why hit Elsie? Yeah, Elsie's lying on you, but why not hit Dolly too? You know, like, and for her to sit here and be talking about, oh, Dolly something about Dolly, you know, waiting for a reason to not like her, but it's like, Dolly been giving signs that she doesn't like you, and you never said anything to her, you never did anything to her. Like, so back at the London house, we only see, you know, Amber, Latina, and Natalie, and they're looking around the house, and yeah, the house does look beautiful, and Amber's just talking about how she could not live in a house with them. She'll be too paranoid because of all the fighting and everything that's going on. And honestly, I don't know why Amber's low-key acting like she's so above this. Like, didn't she just fight Jocelyn on the show, like, not that long ago? So it's just like, girl, don't act like you never fought on TV before. Granted, has it ever been anything like this? Probably not, but it's like, I hate that she's acting like she's just so above this. But granted, I didn't expect Amber Rose to be on here fighting. As soon as the girls arrive to the house, Russian Cream just jumps off the bus. Big Lex rips her pants trying to get her, but Russian just, she takes the off. And it's just like, girl, don't be mad that you got caught up in whatever. Like Big Lex is saying, throwing rocks and hiding your hands. And then on top of that, yeah, D-writing. Trying to be friends with everyone. Like, trying to fight Elsie while you're on injury reserve. Like you're weird. Like, you've been weird. So everyone joins Latina, Amber, and Natalie, and they tell Natalie what's going on with Russian Cream, and they tell Natalie, you know, yeah, she's outside, you know, she's not coming up, and Natalie's kind of just like, oh, you know, I don't remember this happening in the club, like, woo. But it's just like, honestly, Natalie was gonna agree with whatever side she was on. Because when she went outside to Russian Cream, she was just like, yeah, you know, Dolly doesn't even pay you, so why does it even matter? And it's like, yeah, I was gonna take you to Vegas anyway. So it's just like, yeah, she was gonna say whatever based on whoever she was around. But when Natalie goes outside to talk to Russian Cream, she's just like, yeah, girl, come upstairs. I'm gonna be with you, right beside you, you know, or you just stand behind me. And Russian's just like, no, like, you said that it's no injury reserve.
I'm going to go upstairs with you, and I'm going to stand in front of you.
But you said there's no injury reserve.
There is no injury reserve, but...
And it's just like, girl, what are you scared of? You swung on Elsie first. You started some crap with Elsie first. So it's just like, if she does retaliate, then yeah, that is justified. Like, you shouldn't have been popping it off of trying to cut her off because you're getting caught up in your drama. If you wouldn't have done anything, nothing would have been done. You shouldn't have went and told Elsie anything about what happened in the club. Like I said, I don't disagree with the fact that Dolly probably did some shady stuff in the club, but it's just like, you going back and telling Elsie, her going back and telling Dolly. Don't be mad if Dolly tries to check you over something that she said that she heard that you said about her, and try to blame it on Elsie. Because why would Elsie just make up a story like that? If you said anything, you just said it. Stand on it. Why the hell are you so scary? Because when everyone else was fighting, you were into it. But now that you're fighting, you want to run down the street and be scared? It's just like... Then, like I said, for her to blame it on the fact that she feels like Dolly just wanted a reason to beef with her, so Dolly's using this as an excuse, is weird. Because since the beginning, Dolly's been showing that she doesn't like you. Like, the only person that had some type of interest in you was Big Lex. You were just so invisible, you know, like, and so blind, and just wanted them to like you so bad, to the fact that you didn't even realize that those subliminal marks was shade, you know. So it's just like I said, she's weird. So the real CEO, Rolly, steps in, and she's just like, look, Diamond, I see you over there feeling some type of way that Latina's here. Like, what's up? So Latina's just like, shoot, what's up? You know, do you want to get your lick back? And first of all, freaking Tavi's just like, oh wait, you should be getting your lick back. She doesn't need her lick back from you. You know, I'm not even gonna say it. But Diamond's just like, no, she needs her lick back from Latina throwing a drink in her face, because she says she just felt like that was so disrespectful. She says she understands that Latina wanted to be on some weird lame shit, on some, oh, I want to take your spot, but she said her throwing the drink at her face was just so unnecessary. Like, she just should have called the fade out. And honestly, no lie, I agree with that. I understood where she's coming from, because it's like, if you wanted to be the loser, the chingin, and wanted to fight, then cool. But it's like, you throwing stuff was just like, yeah, you're doing too much. And then Diamond, and then you got beat up. So it's just like, yeah. Then Diamond and Latina fight again. And no lie, Diamond, I don't know what she was doing when she was hovering over her, but if you know, she didn't have that grip on, you know, old girl, where she fell and was able to whoop whoop her, then no lie, Latina probably would have won. But Diamond was able to redeem herself, and it's like, I'm glad she did, because I really don't want Latina to win the fight just because of the fact that she came in and then she in her confessional talk about, oh, somebody that's like an aunt to me, you know, I had to defend her. And it's just like, why? You really didn't. Like, you could have chose somebody else. Oh, that's what she said in her confessional. She's sitting here talking about,
I don't feel like I came for the wrong bitch, because Natalie said replacement. They didn't say who, but you was mouthing off as somebody I look at like my aunt. So I want to be here. I'm going to fight for my spot. I need to be here because I'm the baddest bitch.
but it's like, girl, you look stupid. You look stupid, and I'm gonna take every chance I can to tell you that. But Russian and Natalie come back upstairs and they talk about it a little bit, and Natalie low-key, you know, checks Dolly about it. And after Dolly is explaining a little bit, Natalie's just like, oh wait, yeah, I do remember that. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. So Elsie takes off her wig and she attacks Russian Cream, and honestly, they don't even fight. Like, it's like they were kind of like rolling around. But then as soon as they're done fighting, Russian Cream like bolts down the stairs. She's running down the street. She's trying to go into people's basements. She's screaming at the camera, telling the camera to stop. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, all this because you got caught up in your own drama? Like, it was kiki ha when it was everybody else. When it was, oh my gosh, why is Diamond pretending to be her? And yeah, y'all did that. Oh my gosh, yeah, big three. Oh, woo, woo, woo. I'm just letting y'all know that. And it's like, you start drama, you laugh at everybody else's drama, but when it's yours, it's not funny. And honestly, I just feel like one of the main reasons is she didn't want no smoke with Dolly. She didn't want everybody else to be mad at her. She saw it was gonna be her versus the house, and she had no allies at all. So she was like, yeah, I'm over it. And then she tried to prove herself by fighting Elsie, and not like she whooped Elsie's ass. And then, yeah, her hand is hurt and she's low-key being forced to fight with a broken hand, but it's just like, you hit Elsie first. You did not have to hit Elsie. Y'all could have annoyingly argued for 72 hours on a bus. It would have been annoying, but it's just like, at least you could have sat there and been like, yo, you know I can't fight. So if Elsie would have swung on you, it would have been like, damn, Elsie, you know this girl can't fight because she has an injured arm, but you hit her first, you know? So it's just like, you're just getting caught up in your own stuff, and then you're not even owning up to the fact that you told Elsie that Dolly did this to y'all and about this whole booking thing. Because now Natalie's saying that she agrees with whatever Dolly said, and that was probably like I said, this was like her final straw. But I was crying at the fact that she like dipped so fast. Like, she said bye to nobody and everything. She said, oh, I'm out. And honestly, buy the sour cream. Like, she was annoying. She low-key didn't stand on business. The only time she did want to fight is when she wanted to impress everyone else. When she did get injured, she talked about everyone else not fighting when they were injured. But side note, what killed me is that Big Lex was sitting her trying to lecture her about fighting while injured and picking and choosing. But it's like, didn't your friend do that? Like, everybody was sitting there and Dolly was sitting there agreeing with them, but it's just like, didn't Dolly do the same thing? Like, I hate the fact that no one was pointing out the double standard in that. Like, Dolly was sitting here talking about she was hurt when Ivory was here, but as soon as Ivory left, she can fight while being injured. And then on top of that, the next day she's not injured anymore. So it's just like, I'm mad at nobody pointing that out. Then after that, EP Rolly's just like, are there any more issues? And Summer calls out Cold Killer, and no lie, she kind of whooped on Cold Killer a lot of it. And it's just like, yo, I feel like when Summer, Dolly, and Lex be upstairs, they were showing Summer like, right, left, right. Like, they were just teaching her how to box, because she been doing them every time. Then afterwards, the girls, go explore the house, talking grills and woo-woo. Nobody was really talking about anything too important. But then Pretty P comes back out of nowhere, and I was just like, oh shit, I guess Pretty P's back. I low-key forgot she was going, okay? But I was just like, oh, okay, I guess Pretty P's back. Then we go to the club, and as we're in the club, everybody's having fun. But then Summer and Cold Killer get into it, and it gets bad. So as it seemed like Summer was drunk, because even before her and Cold Killer started getting into it, she was standing on something with Big Lex, and she accidentally pushes Big Lex down. Then her and Cold Killer are getting into it. She throws liquor at Cold Killer. I'm talking about Cold Killer. Cold Killer throws like some food or a plate at her. Then she throws the actual bottle at her. When I'm telling you liability like a MF, when I'm telling you, I would have pretended like that hit me just to sue, because how bad of a liability that was. Not like it was one of those plastic cups, that has liquor in it. She threw the actual liquor bottle. I was just like, is she serious? When she threw the plate, I was just like, damn, that's crazy. But that was just a plate. It looked like it was kind of like, it didn't look like it was glass. But the bottle, I was just like, whoa. But the funniest thing was Natalie the whole time just like, stop, guys. And nobody even cared. It's just like, girl, I hope you wasn't trying to show out for Amber in that moment, because I know she was like, girl, it don't seem like you got control of your girls, Bookie. But that's where we ended, and it seemed like next week we see that, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be no consequence for it. But Rolly is on her CEO stuff again, and Cape Rican comes back, and it's Cold Killer versus Summer, Dolly versus Fauna, Summer versus Tavi, and then Cape Rican versus Elsie. Not Summer versus Tavi, Big Lex versus Tavi. So yeah, y'all, no lie, I can't wait to see that. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that episode. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Russian Cream leaving. And do y'all feel like, she just left because she was caught up in her lie? Because no lie, like I said, I feel like I don't doubt Dolly for saying it, but I just feel like she really just didn't want no smoke for real. So, and she didn't really expect Elsie to go back and tell them what she said. So she was just like, yeah, I got a tip. And then she saw that everybody else was against her. So she said, yeah, I got a tip. And so it's just like, she didn't necessarily get caught up in her lie, I should say. She just got caught up in her drama, and she ain't expect to. So yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel about that and the rest of this episode. So until the meantime, just make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, all that.